I guess the government pays people or has people in their military to go eradicate coca leaves. And I believe you were on the Pacific coast and you accompanied them in a helicopter. And these people are incredibly brave, even though I think the work they're doing is pointless. And again, that's not their fault. That's just the war on drugs. But basically, these brave men, they live in these huts in the jungle, and there's scorpions and it's mosquitoes, malaria. And then when it's time to work, they get in a helicopter, they get dropped off on this field where there's landmines around coca plants, and they have 10 minutes to eradicate the coca plants, and they get back on the helicopter. And you accompanied them doing this. Did I describe that correctly?
Yeah, so actually you mix two things there. So there is this, so the anti-narcotics police have this newer program. That's the one where they do these lightning strikes. They themselves fly in, the anti-narcotics. They'll get to this thing, as you say, yeah, it's just this mad rush. They're quickly looking for landmines. A landmine there can cost $1 to make. So in the book, I say the only limit on the supply is how much malice do you have within you? You know, so that in some of these things, these narco militias will just litter the coca fields with landmines, because the theory is, it's not the theory, but the emotion is, if you take my coca, I'm going to make you bleed. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm going to make you bleed. And you have these horrific mutilations within the police. Just, I mean, stomach churning mutilations that these police officers have suffered. So that's one version. The other one is the civilians. Now, these are 3-month missions where they're actually dropped off in one spot, and then they just stay there for 3 months. Every 10 days, they make camp in somewhere else, but they just, like a snail, they move through a zone where there's a lot of coca. And they'll set up camp. And I think they'll eradicate all of the coca in, say, like a 3-kilometer radius. And then once all of that coca's gone, they'll then move on. These are the people who have to live with snakes, scorpions, spiders, anything you want, all of the tropical diseases you can get. I mean, the jungle, I grew up in London. I thought the jungle was like Eden, right? I thought you was walking along and just like, oh, I'll take some fruit. And no, man, the jungle is a state of mind. The jungle wants to kill you, man. The jungle is, I mean, everybody knows this, man. The jungle is, it's a weird state of mind when you're there. It's like dreamlike, and time slows down. That was always the thing about this jungle time. That's what the FARC, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, would always say, we're on jungle time. And it's true, it's something different. And so these people are out in this weird world of the jungle where there's so many things waiting to kill them, landmines, snakes, like jaguars. I mean, just, it's crazy out there. And then on top of that, the new rule is that I was speaking to these, and I should explain. So you have day laborers, are the actual ones who go in and forcibly rip out the coca, and they're protected by police. So I think it's like 2 police for every 1 day laborer. And these guys, 3-month missions. And they actually, interestingly, they're almost always former coca farmers themselves who are in a zone where the coca was successfully eradicated. That always just means it goes somewhere else. But these guys are without a job, or they've decided, you find a lot of people who say, you know what, I don't want to do coca anymore, but there's nothing else for them to do, so they need a job. But so they move through. And when I was with the police, they were telling me that the latest order was not to drink from the river, from the stream, because they were sure someone had poisoned that stream. They had gone to one part and they saw all of these dead fish, and he said, all right, that's it. He said that they had also found in these farms where the coca is often accompanied by other crops. And he said, I think it was, I can't remember what the fruit would have been. Oranges? No. Anyway, there was a tree with fruit the farmer was growing, and they had found that they thought someone had injected poison into this fruit. They knew the police were going, and it would be the naturalist thing in the world. You just grab something from the tree. They thought poison. So that's the hard life. And it was, I thought it was like a very monkish-like life, because, man, everything great in life, man. You're without beer. You're without women. You know, I mean, it's just 3 months out there. And because no women are allowed on this, because it's just, you know, I think they think it would just cause problems, you know. So it's a very monk-like existence. I came away, and as you said, I thought, man, and even the police captain himself, I said, but you're ripping out the crops. You yourself think that the farmer's going to go back and replant them. So what's the point of this bin? And, you know, you get these police to that point and they're like, yeah, you know, what is the point?